Good morning, listeners. You are tuned to All India Radio Coimbatore. Today in the English Talk Time, we bring you Sanskrit, the Perennial Source, a special talk by Mr. S. Anantha Kalyana Krishnan, Superintendent of Customs in Central Excise, and as a coordinator of Samskrita Bharati, Coimbatore Zone, in connection with the World Sanskrit Day. On to the talk now.
Namaste. We are celebrating Samskrita Saptaha, that is Sanskrit week, coinciding with the Shravan Purnima being celebrated on this Saturday, the 13th. What is Samskritam? Let us see about Samskritam yesterday, today, tomorrow. When this land of ours, that is Bharat, was evolved several thousands of years back, the sages created varieties of texts on human conduct with the intention of good polity, amity. The lineage of the sages themselves is traced to the day of creation of the universe. Thus were born the Vedas, Shastras, Puranas and Smritis. At different periods, various sages authored texts to guide the people on food, health, hygiene, environment, civics, government and several such subjects. The Vedas proclaim certain general truths and give out certain commands. For example, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahman. Apo va idagam sarvam visva bhutanyāpaha. All these are water. All matter on the universe is water. Satyam vada, tell the truth. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagadam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita magridha kasya sviddhanam. All that is in the universe are God's. Consume them with a sense of sacrifice. Do not aspire for another's wealth. These statements give one an insight into the concept and purpose of life. They arouse the scientific mind in man. The Vedas have dwelt on earth, water, space, the sun, the moon, the planets, stars, light, fire, and so on and so forth. These pronouncements have inspired and instigated thousands of thinkers to produce treatises and commentaries on scientific truths. Thus were born the Shastras, the Puranas and the Itihasas. The Puranas and Itihasas were created for easy comprehension of the essence of the Vedas and Shastras by ordinary men. From Kashyapa's treatise on poison to Aryabhatta's commentaries on mathematical astronomy, for thousands of years the scientific mind was kept alive and active by the earliest of scriptures. There had been hundreds of texts on medicine, mathematics, various branches of science and engineering, civics, ethics and philosophy. All these texts were composed in the language that is now known to us as Sanskrit. Even though its earlier name Samskritam itself came into being 2500 years or so ago. It was sage Panini who deciphered the grammatical structure of the languages and authored the first grammar book in Sanskrit. This made understanding the scriptures easier and contributed towards the rapid strides in the field of science and literature. The language became a binding force throughout the subcontinent, and the word Bharatvarsha brought a sense of oneness among the people of all walks of life, even though they belonged to different sects and regions. The concept of unity amidst diversity started then itself, thanks to Sanskrit. There was perfect law and order, professional and social ethics, and a disciplined society all around. The last 1000 years witnessed aggression by various foreign invaders, culminating in the takeover of the nation by the British. At some point of time, it came to the notice of the invaders that the binding force of our culture is Sanskrit, and a systematic plan was launched to remove the language from mass use. Until the advent of the British, the vast majority of the population of this country was literate. All the teachers taught the students at their home. There were Gurukulas where the students stayed at the master's house and learnt. There were Paఠశాlas which were run by the king or by local bodies where a variety of subjects were taught. Some teachers taught their students part-time, that is either in the morning or in the evening for a brief time or on weekly basis. The front yard of their houses served as classrooms. Thus, there were several thousands of such teaching centers around cities like Ujjain, Varanasi, Gaya, Patna, Puri, Kumbakonam, Kanchipuram, Madurai, Tanjavur, Tirunelveli. All these towns were famous learning centers. There were more than 1,000 such centers, and each center had more than 1,000 teachers teaching at their homes. Thus, people from all walks of life had access to knowledge and letters. They learned what is required for them. The carpenter, the mason, the goldsmith, the blacksmith, the oil merchant, the weaver, all learned the basics of Samskritam and learned the nuances of Vastu Shastra, Nirmana Shastra, Loha Tantra, Ayurveda, Yasatantra Shastra, Ganita Shastra, etc. They in turn taught their children and clan what they had learned. To destroy our traditional system of social life and our cultural base, the British introduced the school education system and lured all home-based teachers to join the schools as teachers where they were paid salary. Since the schools functioned from morning to evenings, the labourers and craftsmen found it difficult to attend the school and chose to pursue their work. Thus, a new generation of illiterates were created. The English education system was ostensibly aimed to make the Indians think like the British even if they dressed like Indians. This resulted in the people of the land losing track of their heritage, and a sense of inferiority complex overtook them, hastening the process of being enslaved to the British. People who did not know English were looked down upon. Even the teaching of Samskritam was done through English or regional languages. Students were permitted to answer the Samskritam examination in English or regional language. Can you imagine the same situation with other language? Can a student write the BA or MA examination of English or Hindi in Tamil or Telugu and get a degree or postgraduate degree? No. But in the case of Samskritam, it is possible. This scheme, designed by the British and scrupulously followed by the governments of independent India, virtually destroyed the standard of Samskritam learning and teaching. Even after 60 years of freedom from foreign rule, the sense of inferiority complex haunts and grips every Indian. One has to be told by a Western scientist that the early morning atmosphere contains enriched oxygen, and hence an early morning stroll will do a great deal of good for one's health, without bothering for the command Brahme Muhurte Uttishta as espoused in the Ashtanga Hridaya. The antiseptic and insecticidal value of cow dung and cow's urine has to dawn on us via New York or London. These are only illustrations. The list will be exhaustive. The knowledge of Sanskrit will redeem every Indian from the gorge of mental slavery that he has fallen into. That is why modern day thinkers like Swami Vivekananda, Aurobindo, Einstein, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Ambedkar have time and again emphasized the need for everyone to learn Sanskrit. Samskrita Bharati was formed in the year 1981 as a movement to propagate Sanskrit as a language spoken and easily understood by all the people of Bharat. The persons who founded the movement travelled the length and breadth of this country, conducted extensive and intensive research to formulate a syllabus consisting of Sarala Samskritam, that is simple Sanskrit, through which all people, irrespective of caste, religion or creed, can easily pick up and speak in Samskritam. They further enlisted the support of various individuals and organizations for this purpose. The activities of Samskrita Bharati were started in Tamil Nadu during 1982. The main among these is the 10 days spoken class of 2 hours duration. Those who attend this class can pick up basic spoken skill in Samskritam. This will be upgraded and fine-tuned through weekly contact classes called Saptahika Melanam. In these classes, the learners are introduced to Samskritam script and basic grammar. There are also 4 sets of examination conducted with the interval of 6 months. The students are also taught Bhagavad Gita through Samskritam. Another activity is the heritage orientation class for children called Balakendra, where children are taught slokas, stories and incidents from various aspects of our cultural and religious texts through Tamil medium. Gradually, they are taught Samskritam also in a phased manner. Willing persons from the society are trained to conduct these classes in their localities. Samskrita Bharati trains all the people who learn the spoken skill to teach others how to speak in Samskritam through a training camp called Prashikshanam, held every year. Incidentally, this year the camp was held at Pollachi from the 12th of May to the 21st of May. All these activities are carried out free of cost. There are several full-time volunteers known as Purna Kalikas